Hello, how are you? If you are here, it is because you have joined as a distributor and you are part of Team Limitless, and we're super excited to have you on our team. We're going to just take some time here to kind of give you some pointers on how to start your business off right. We're just super glad you're here. No matter what your goal is, you could have a goal to get free products. You could have a goal to make $200 to $500, or you might want to have replace an income completely, or retire a spouse, or be a full-time family. So that was my goal when I started. And so I'm just going to tell you that no matter what your goal is, these are some great tips, no matter what you're doing, just to get your business started off right. So I hope that you do these things. This is what I recommend you do as you start. As we're going here, it's best if you have like a notebook or something that you can be taking notes. And you might want to just kind of pause and start and stop the video as I'm talking through things, and then write down questions. If you have questions, you can either ask me or ask your upline, whoever it is that gave you this video. Just ask questions, ask them on the team page. We all are super helpful. So we're going to get started. First of all, as soon as you we got your information in, whether you did it yourself or I helped you or your sponsor helped you put it in, you are official. You can start your business. You do not need to wait. In fact, that is one of the things that I think is the most detrimental to your business, is if you wait for that business builder kit to come. I just heard a story the other day of somebody who actually went Ruby before their kit came in like a week or week and a half, whatever it was. So she went Ruby before then. So that there's nothing magical in the kit. You're getting some wraps, you're getting some fab wrap, and some defining gel and some marketing materials. That's awesome. The wraps are awesome. I'm not saying you're not, but you don't need to have those right away to run with this business. So the biggest thing you need to do is just open up your mouth and just start sharing. I always say this. You'll hear me say this a lot. If your mouth is open, your business is open. You have to share this with people. Your mouth can be open on social media. It can be open as you're talking to people in real life, just as you're getting the word out there. So you want to just make sure that you're consistent with that. So, this video is going to be focused on, I'm looking at my notes, sorry. This video is going to be focused on the first things that you can be doing in the first 24 to 72 hours, the first beginning days of your business, which are very crucial. I really think it's important to get started off right away and just really use your excitement. So you've just signed up, you just got your welcome email saying that you're official. So the first thing that you can do is you can do your adventure post. Now your adventure post is something that we're going to do on social media to let your friends and family know about your great adventure. But I don't want this to be saying, hey, I'm so excited, I just signed up for It Works. Do you want to buy one of my wraps? That's not what we're doing here. That's not what the adventure post is for. We really want to just draw people in with curiosity and be in excitement. So you, an example of an adventure post could be, take a picture of you, a selfie possibly, just so excited, just say, I'm so excited for this new adventure in my life. I can't wait to see where I'm going to be at crushing all my goals and getting some dreams, or I can't wait to be staying home with my kids soon, or I'm so excited about this new adventure that I'm going on. You could just grab people's attention is kind of what you want to do. Just have a really fun picture, a really fun post, but don't mention It Works. Don't mention anything about the products. Don't say, I want you to buy my products from me. That's just not what the adventure post is for. Again, you want to draw in curiosity and have people saying, oh, awesome. You could say something like, I can't wait to get healthy, to work on financial freedom, and help people along the way. Whatever your goals are and things, just be real, be yourself. Don't say something that you wouldn't say. I'm not telling you to do that. I want you to figure out what makes sense for you. And if you don't if you want an example of an adventure post, your sponsor or I can show you an example of somebody's adventure post too, because sometimes it's hard to know what to do right away. So adventure post, that's the first thing that you can do right away, right out off the bat. The other thing that I think it's really super important for you to do is to write out your why. You have to know why you're doing things. You have to know why you're here. If you don't have your why written down, you're going to just be working. You're not going to have any goals, any dreams to be working towards. And it's just going to become a regular job for you. And that's not what you're here for. So you need to write down your why. So when I started, my why was to stay home with my kids. And so I had one daughter at the time. And so I didn't want to have to go back to work. I wanted to be able to stay home. And so my why was, it was money related, but it was so a lot of you are going to say, oh, I need to make more money. Yes, that's true. That's why we do things like this a lot of the time, to get healthy or maybe to make some extra income and to meet friends. But for me, it was to earn more money so that I didn't have to go back to work, and so that I could be home with her, and so that my husband, Ryan, could work less. So you see the difference there? So my why was more relationship based, and it wasn't just money related. So write that out so that you have a goal to work towards. So do your adventure post right away. We want you to write down your why so you have that all the time in front of you. The next one I want you to do is get into your eSuite, log in, and I want you to watch those training videos, and that's under It Works You. And if you go and you click on the It Works You training, there's going to be 3 short videos in the first section and then 3 short videos in the next section. And you're just going to learn a lot about the way the business works, just some important and useful information there. And go ahead and get yourself familiar with the eSuite as well. Next thing I want you to do, this is again in those first 24 hours, first up to 72 hours, like 1 to 3 days, just really get these things done. And I'm telling you, it's going to make a big difference. The next one is going to be set a date for your launch party. Now, if I am local to you, I will come to you if possible. If it works in my schedule, I'd love to come help you get your business started off. We can invite some close friends and family, people who want to come sample the products, try the wraps, just kind of learn. We don't even call them parties. I like to just call them, hey, come over and learn some more. Have a little get together with friends. Do not make this a formal thing. That's something I love about this business is it's not party based. You get people together. And so I never actually call it a party. I just call it a get together of some kind and then keep it super low key. And I'll do more another time. I'll talk more about like party tips and things like that. But for now, we're just going to get some friends together to learn more about your adventure and sharing your journey. Maybe you guys want to try the wrap together, that kind of thing. So we're going to, so set your launch date. So again, if I'm local, I can help with your in-person launch. If I'm not local, I can still help you. If we want to do like a Zoom meeting, I'm happy to, you can put me on your computer in front of your guests, and I'd love to talk to your guests with you as well. And then you can just practice wrapping people. That's kind of what this is about. So I'm happy to help you in any way in that regard. And then also it's really important to have your online launch. And so I can help you with that as well. I encourage you to be as actively involved in that as you can be, because I really think it helps you to take ownership of your business. But with that said, I love helping my new distributors out. So I have, I will do all the posts, and you just get to invite your friends and family on Facebook. There are some tips I want to tell you about when you are setting up your online launch. I will help you get that set up, and I have some things that I kind of recommend people get started off and say right away. And then when it comes to inviting people, it's best if you are, you send out specific invites and that you don't invite like hundreds and hundreds of people and then don't send them like a personal message. So everybody that I invite to my parties, I send a personal message to, because what happens there is then the people realize that you're actually thinking about them and you're not just spamming them and saying, hey, come and do this. I want you to buy my stuff. So it really works best if you send a message and say something like, hey, Sally, how are you doing? And you can say, how are your kids doing? I love seeing they're at school right now or something. And then you could say something like, hey, I don't know if you've seen, but I'm starting my new business with It Works. I'm really excited to get healthy and to help people get healthy alongside with me. And I'm looking forward to working towards staying home with my kids. Whatever your why is, you can kind of say it right there and say, I'm going to be doing an online party. It's going to talk about some products. Would you like to come learn more? Here's the link to the event. I'd love to see you there. There's no obligation to bar. Just come and see what we're all about. So again, I can send you that, what I send to people to get started. You can kind of tweak it to sound like you. But that way, when you're sending that to people, they don't feel like you are looking at them like a piece of meat. And so when they do say yes, then you can invite them. And so when they come onto the page and they see the party, the online party that we have going on, they don't see, oh, you have hundreds and hundreds of people invited. They feel more special that way. And it's just more an intimate group, and you're going to have more success that way. So if you, so one of the first things, again, that you can do right away, we're going back to, it's getting your online launch party started. So get a date set for both of those, and then you can start inviting people to both of those parties actually. The next thing that's really important is to set up your ADBV auto shipment. So your ADBV auto shipment is what gets you commission qualified to earn your commissions. And so we talked about that in order to get your commissions, you have an ADBV. BV stands for bonus volume. And I usually recommend people who are starting, and this is what I did when I started, I got a box of wraps, which is 54 BV, and some greens on the go. The reason why I did that was because there's 4 wraps in a box, 1, 2, 3, 4, sold for 25 each. That's $100. So you're earning back your auto shipment right away. And then usually when people try those wraps, they love them, and then they become loyal customers, which is awesome. And with the greens on the go, you can use them yourself, or you can use them as samples as well. So they're just a great product to grow your business with as well. So get that set up in your eSuite. And then this next one is I want you to start with your warm market. So you've got your adventure post out. You can do that right away. You've written out your why is a really great one. You've gone into the e-suite and you've done some of your training videos. You're watching this video now. Hey, that's a training video. You've set the couple dates for your launch party. If you haven't done that yet with me, go ahead and get in contact and let's get something in the books for that. Go and set up your ADBV auto shipment. And then we're going to talk through how important it is just to gather those first loyal customers right away. What I like to do is I like to think about people who are, we call it your warm market. Your warm market are people who you know and you already have a relationship with. So your mom, your sister, your cousin, your friends, people you go to church with, whoever is in your warm market that you see regularly. Anybody that you know is really your warm market, actually. That's what we call your warm market. Even if you knew them from high school, they're still your warm market because you know them. And your cold market, you'll hear us talk about this, is anybody that you don't know. So that's cold market. But I want you to, in these first few days, I want you to think about those people who help you out through things. So like for me, when I started, I don't want you, first just know that just because they're your friends and family does not mean that they're going to support you. In fact, 3 of the closest people in my life said some super hurtful things to me when I started. And it hurt. So I'm not going to sit here and say it didn't hurt, but I did not use it to defeat me. I used it to make me stronger and just kind of almost motivate me to keep going. And so, so I'm sitting here as I'm telling you, like, oh, go ask your mom. Your mom might not be supportive. Like your sister, your cousin, like if I'm saying those people, they might not be the first people to join with you because I had some people who were super hurtful. But I did also have some people in my life who I knew would support me through things and who would hear me out and who wanted to help me succeed as well. Some people have a lot of those people in their life and some people don't. So whatever it is, you can't make that as an excuse because you either you still have to ask. So I had some people in my life, like my mom and my mother-in-law and my aunt, they were like, they knew what I was doing. They're people that you're going to tell about this journey, people that you would call them if you had a flat tire, to babysit your kids, to go hang out with, have a play date with, whatever. Those are the people in your life that you can call and kind of just ask them. And so I have a message that, so if you have your pen and paper out, I'm going to read it kind of slowly. And this is what I would just recommend you say to them. It doesn't sound pushy. It doesn't sound desperate. You don't want to sound like you're begging. You're just having a relationship with them. You've told them that you're doing something new because maybe you're trying to reach a big goal of staying home or whatever your big goal is. You're trying to get healthy again. They want to support you in life. They love you. They care about you. Okay. So this is like to my mom. Something I would say. I said, hey mom, you know how I just started this business with It Works. I'm super excited about it. We have all these really cool products and there's literally something for everybody. And I need some product testimonies. Would you be willing to help me out and try one of my products and give me your honest review? If you do that, I won't charge you full price and you get my discount for all 3 months. See how plain and simple it is? So I'm going to read that again because I know you guys are writing it down. I said, hey mom, look, I just joined this business. And if you've told her already, you could say, I just joined this business like I told you. It works. And I'm really excited about it. So I found out that we are looking for product testimonies. We have a lot of really cool products, and there's literally something for everybody. Would you be willing to help me out and try one of my products and giving me your honest review? If you do that, I won't charge you full price and you'll get my discount for all 3 months. Now, the reason that they get the discount is because that's our loyal customer program. You try one product a month for 3 months and that gets you the wholesale pricing. And so that's really sweet. So you can offer that to your close friends and family and chances are they're going to say, great. Or you could say something like, hey, I'm really looking forward to trying these wraps. Do you want to try them with me? Let's do this. So just so that you are really just being real with them, being relational. And again, if there's people in your life that they want to support you, and the cool thing is you're offering them a great product. They could try anything. They could try the wraps. They could try a supplement, the hair, skin, nails, really anything is what they can try. So I want you to really just think about those people in your life. Now I want you to hear me say, I do not want you to be cold messaging people. That is when you send a message to people who you are not in a relationship with and just kind of throw it out there and say, hey, buy this from you. That is not what we do here. That is ugly. That's gross. Nobody likes it when they receive those messages, and I don't like to send those messages. So make sure that if you're sending these messages out, it's to people in your life who you are in relationship with regularly, people who, like I said, you can ask a favor of, people who you're in relationship with, so that if you don't feel right about sending that message, don't send it, because that means you need to build that relationship up a little bit more too. So That is what I want you to do in those first 24 to 72 hours. I'm going to go through them one more time. The adventure post, I want you to write down your why. I want you to do your e-suite training videos. Set the date for your 2 launch parties. We talked about sending the messages and how important that is. Set up your 80 BV auto shipment and start with your messaging of your warm market, like your mom, your sister, your cousin, your dad, people you go to church with, whoever it is that you're doing life with, and ask them if they want to be one of your product testers. The next thing that you can be doing in these next, the beginning stages of your business, which is in your first 1 to 3, kind of the first week kind of time frame, is I want you to work on your hundreds list. Now, your hundreds list is just writing down a list of 100 people that you know. Everybody knows more people than they think they know. And I think with this business, people think that they're going to run out of people. And the reason why the hundreds list is so awesome is because it helps you to realize, wow, I know a lot of people in my life, and I have a lot of relationships that I can work with. And so when you're writing these people down, these are not people that you have to send a message to and say, join my team. So that's not what this is for. So I don't want you to be worried about who you're writing down. We'll talk about what we do with this list later, but I want you to just write down all the names of everybody that comes to your mind. When I started, I actually just used my Facebook friends list just because it was there for me and it kind of triggered my memory, but I did write them down. So I do want you to physically write them down and not just say, oh, it's my Facebook friends list, because there's something about writing it down and having that name written there. And then plus you can write notes down when we do things with our hundreds list. You can actually print out your hundreds list from Facebook, which I didn't know at the time, but it would have been really helpful. So there's a way, if you just look on the internet, you can just say, how do I download my friends list? And I think it's in settings, and it's really super simple, but I do recommend doing that. And then you have it written there, and then you can be super organized from the start, which is what I recommend as well. The next thing we're going to talk about doing that you can do right away when you start is I always talk about how it's important to keep your mouth open, and because when your mouth is open, your business is open, and if your mouth is closed, your business is closed. People will not know that you're serious about this unless you take it seriously. And so I tell people that if you want to get paid like a job, you have to work it like a job. If you want to get paid like a hobby, work it like a hobby, and both are fine, but just kind of have to meet it with your goals to align. But even if you are working it as a hobby, I still think it's very important to be consistent, because you still want people to know that you are doing this, so that if they're like, hey, I need one of those wraps, who is that wrap girl? You want people to know that you are doing that. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people who they said, oh, I have my friend and I thought, and they went and they bought from somebody else. Well, the reason why probably was because that they didn't know that you were even doing this still, that you were serious about this. So even if it means you're just posting regularly and consistently, then when somebody has a need, they're going to come to you. So we talked about, we're going to talk a little bit real quick about how you can get started on social media. The big thing is being consistent. Like I said, if your mouth is open, your business is open. But with that, when I say posting on social media, it is not about selling. Okay, social media is ultimately about being social and being a good friend. It's not called me media. It's not about me and what I can do and how cool I can look. And you're going to have a lot more success with your business if you are focused on other people, and you're just going to enjoy it more, and you're going to feel good about what you're doing here. When I started, I did not understand social media. I was really never on social media. And so I had a skewed image of it, first of all. And so I had a huge learning curve. And it wasn't until I kind of understood, oh, social media, I just need to be a good friend. And that is really when it kind of flipped in my brain. And I realized what the intention of it was. And it was just to be a good friend to people. And it wasn't for me to use this to sell. It's used to share and to educate. So our job is never to sell. It's only to educate. And it's their job to decide if they want to use the product. So when you first join, you can start on social media right away. We talked about your adventure posts, but you can absolutely start sharing your journey. You can start sharing why you're excited. You can start sharing as soon as your box comes in. Oh, look what came. I'm so excited to start wrapping. Your first wrap that you put on, you can tell them, hey, I'm wrapping tonight. I'm drinking lots of water. One thing that I don't want you to do when you're posting is try to stay away from posting pictures that you might find like on Google or Pinterest that are, one, if they're bad quality, grainy images, those just look bad. They look nasty. If somebody looks at your profile, they don't want to see that. It looks salesy. It does not draw people in. So stay away from those kinds of things. Even just posting plain, like It Works ad pictures of a bottle of something. Like sometimes can you do that? Absolutely. But if every single picture that you post about is of solely just this, just a plain old picture on a table, that isn't going to draw people in. But if you take a picture of yourself taking a picture of your greens, people like to see you, that you're doing it, something more relatable. So try to get away from all of the ads and being look salesy. So just show yourself, show you. If you're posting a picture, if you want to talk about the stretch mark cream, talk about how it felt when you were using it, like how soft it felt, how smooth your skin felt afterwards, that kind of thing, rather than just slapping on a picture of saying that says stretch mark cream, that lists everything out, and that's the only thing you post. That's not what's going to draw people in. Remember, ultimately, your job is to be a good friend. So I could talk for days and hours about how to be a good friend on social media, but ultimately, how are you a good friend in real life? Okay, you are a good listener. You validate how people feel. Your relationship goes back and forth, and the same thing goes for social media. You're going to have people are going to respond to you and going to want to follow you and give you hugs and high fives. And on social media, hugs and high fives are likes and comments. So I give a lot of hugs and high fives on social media because that's a way that I can let people know that I care about them and that what they say is validated. So if you post something on social media and you post a picture, I bet if somebody comments on your picture, I bet you read it every time. I bet if you have a bunch of comments, I'm sure you read every single comment. That's because you feel good if somebody comments and takes the time to tell you, hey, what you wrote here, what you posted, I think that's great, or whatever they say to you. Same goes, it's reciprocated. So that's why when people are on social media, it's good to just let them know that you care, that, hey, they put themselves out there and you're just going to let them know, hey, that's really cool. Give them a high five, give them a hug for whatever reason. You're going to have more luck if you are out there hugging and high-fiving than worried about everything that you're putting out there. Of course, it's important to share with your audience as well and to be thoughtful with your posts, but it's just equally, if not more important, to be a good friend. Like I said, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing with social media, and I had to learn. So you're going to, if that's you and you have never used social media much before, you're going to have to learn to see what works for you. And what I did a lot was I looked at other leaders or other people that I really related to who were It Works distributors, and I saw how they shared their business, how they shared their life, how they just shared how this was a real opportunity. And I just was like them. I tried to do it the way they did it because it made sense to me. So there's some people who work their business that's not like me and it works for them, but you need to find somebody who really speaks to you, who makes sense, who you can really respect, and you say, hey, I feel like I could, that's kind of the way I am and I want to kind of do it that way. So find somebody, follow them. We share our posts all the time. So if you see something that I post, you are more than welcome to use it and tweak it to make it your own, or there's a really cool save button on Facebook so you can save it and it goes into a folder. So you can save it for later, so you have posts. I have a lot of tricks that I do to be more thoughtful, and so that I can post things when I'm actually not there. So like I schedule my posts a lot and I write them ahead of time. So we'll talk about that another time. But being consistent on social media is kind of what we're talking about. And just getting over yourself. I had a really hard time getting over myself in the beginning. It held me back from so much. I had so much fear and worry, and I cared so much what other people thought, and it held me back a ton. And so I've learned to just get over myself. It's a constant process actually of getting over myself. But the sooner you can get over yourself, guys, the sooner this is going to happen. If you are here for a big reason, like I know many of you are, you have to get over yourself. And I promise you that it's going to be worth it, because if you're worried about what other people think of you in relation to It Works, that means you're probably worried in other areas of your life, and it's just not worth it. And if people are going to think something negative of you, one, they just don't understand. I found that the people who I felt I was getting feeling negativity from, it's either one, because they just didn't understand. They're uneducated. They don't get it yet. And I just needed to kind of explain to them why I'm here, what the products are, what they can do. And that's fine. They just needed to learn. And the other people, if I felt negativity, it was because they just have a problem with me, or they might be jealous, or they just don't like me for whatever reason. And that is not my fault. That is, they're going to like me or not like me, whether I'm doing It Works or not. And I had to really come to just kind of remember that I'm not a different person since I joined It Works. I feel like some people I just kind of felt like they thought I had changed so much. And I realized that I hadn't changed. I was the same person. You hang out with me, I'm the same exact retarded kind of a loser Amy. And I like dumb jokes, and I I'm just who I am, and I hadn't changed. I had changed in the fact that I cared more about people, and I'm more relational, and I'm a better version of myself. But I had a really hard time because I was worried, again, what other people thought of me. So for me, it was just kind of just getting over that and just realizing I was the same person, and that I just had some goals and dreams, and that didn't change who I was. And I just cared about achieving those goals, actually. So we're back on social media. So the getting over yourself, that was a big thing for me. We talked about staying away from those grainy pictures, those nasty graphics that just don't really do anything. Sometimes, yes, I'll post a graphic, but that should not be what your Facebook profile looks like. If someone were to click on it, you do not want it to look just like it works. If it's all black, green, and bling, nobody's going to want to follow you, and that's not very thoughtful. You want to be thoughtful. You want to leave people better off from reading your posts than they were without it. So the other thing I want to say, this is, we're kind of, again, I'll talk a lot about social media as you're being trained, but we're going to close it up for a bit. But a big thing is, another thing to do right away is to start using the products right away. If you've never tried anything yet, talk about the ones you're excited to use. And as soon as your kit comes, get those wraps on yourself, or go wrap somebody, or sell those wraps. Just as soon as you can, start using the products so you can start talking about them. I cannot say enough how important it is to be product to the product. Find a product, 2, 3, 4 that you use consistently and love so that you can share about it, because you cannot talk about something and how it's going to help somebody unless you have a testimony of something there. So find something that's not going to be hard, because products are awesome. The other thing I was going to say that's really helpful when you're getting started is plug into our team page Limitless. Ask questions. Help answer questions if you know the answer. Tell a funny joke. Just get to know people, because the community that you're going to build there and the friendships, it's going to be super helpful on your journey. I have a ton of people that I meet and love on my team, and so I just think it's a fun place to go to. And the relationship piece is so important, and we are all super helpful, and everybody wants to see the other person succeed, which is really awesome. So as you're doing this, again, we're in our first 24 to 72 hours, maybe your first week, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're kind of just getting started. Do these things, hit the ground running. I know you can do them. If you're scared, just remember that you can do it, and that to get over yourself. And remember, the other thing to know is just success does not happen overnight. So if you this is a job, and so it's going to take some time. So if you post for a week or two and you don't have anybody respond back, that's okay. That's normal. People are watching. They want to see that what you're doing, that you're serious about what you do. And so I just encourage you to stick it out, and don't be discouraged if you did all the things I said, and you posted for a week or two, a month, whatever, and people aren't running to your door and trying to buy everything from you. That it takes longer than that. People want to know that this is the real deal. So just be consistent over time, and be consistently regularly. So you just need to remember that success takes time, and just anything that is worth it is going to take a little bit of effort. And I promise you that it's going to be worth it. And if you do this consistently, and you work your business regularly, and you use this opportunity for what it can be used, it's just insane what it can do. So I'm really rooting for you. If you have any questions at all about anything, please do not hesitate to ask me. These are just some of the first things I recommend you do right off the bat to get your business going, to get those first customers right away. Your goal is to get in the 400 club. We call it the 400 BV club, and that is just so that you have 400. It's just a big milestone, and if you can get that in your first 4 days, 1 to 3 to a week, whatever, in those first beginning, you're going to be off to a really good start. It's super helpful to get started right away. So good luck. You'll be hearing from me again, and I hope you had a great time listening. Write down those notes and ask me questions, and I'm going to turn this off. Talk to you soon.